Hey guys, Jess here with CFit Studio. It's been a while. I wanted to go over attitudes, and it can be a sensitive subject to discuss because, especially in today's age, everybody is super sensitive and they really don't like criticism, even if it's constructive and it will help them have a better, more joyful life. So take it with a grain of salt at the beginning of the video that everything that I am saying here is out of complete love, and I want you to be able to enjoy your life to the fullest, not only because you are already amazing exactly as you are, and you deserve to work just as hard for yourself as you do for everybody else, which is why I encourage us prioritizing our workouts and our eating well, but I want you to actually believe it. So with regards to specific attitudes, I've talked about mindset a lot. I'm not really going to go over like when you're tired or when you're sad. I'm specifically going to go over anger and suffering and how it relates to you working out and eating well. So anger is usually a byproduct emotion. We're usually not angry for the sake of being angry. Anger is usually grief. It's usually hurt. It's usually something on a deeper level where you feel something within your soul or your morals or something like that was disrupted and you don't know what to do about it, or you're choosing not to act on it, or it could be subconscious, conscious, whatever, but that's usually where anger comes from, because it's a frustration of the inability to act and change. And it's actually, if you watch all the TED Talks and read all the books and all that jazz, it's actually a really helpful and a good emotion because it lets you know that something needs to change. And that doesn't mean that the change is going to be easy, and it doesn't mean that the change itself won't cause frustration, but something needs to change. And so unfortunately today, with COVID and the upcoming election and just quarantine, and honestly just the more we go through life, people are getting more and more every year, more sensitive to criticism, more sensitive to opposing viewpoints and stuff. And it can derail our ability to really make ourselves work hard for ourselves. And we use that frustration to kind of disqualify our workouts, disqualify eating well, because we're tired, we're exhausted, whatever. Let's just go ahead and grab something on the way home, and I'm gonna veg out while we watch a whole bunch of episodes of whatever, right? And so the problem is anger, the initial biological reaction to anger, I believe, is only about 90 seconds. So if you're carrying anger, true anger, with you longer than a 90-second span, it's a subconscious or conscious decision to continue to do that. So whether you are aware of it, you are making a decision to remain angry. And if you go back to the beginning of the video, the anger is a byproduct of another emotion, and usually it requires us to make some type of a change in order to overcome that anger. So it could be you ignoring the change that you know you need to make because it won't be easy, whatever. But the point is it's not about being angry. It's not about the fact that we aren't all suffering. We are all suffering in different ways. That is the human condition. So it's more, let's use our fitness and our eating well as a way to overcome what everyone already experiences. Unfortunately, it kind of seems like we're in a competition to see who struggles more and who suffers more. And there's nothing wrong with acknowledging your suffering, but we need to not glorify it. I don't understand why we're glorifying the suffering. Just kind of like back in the 90s or even before, we used to glorify being busy. Everyone's still busy. Busy just means busy. Busy doesn't mean productive. Busy doesn't mean successful. Busy just means busy. Busy means you don't have any time to rest, which is what we need in order to be productive and successful. And I feel like the same thing here. We need to acknowledge suffering so we can make that change to overcome it. And fitness is nature's natural antidepressant. You get a burst of endorphins, increased serotonin, dopamine. You get that camaraderie if you're working out with a friend or with a trainer and you're having your own little challenge, like a fun challenge with a friend, friendly competition. And then you have your diet is nature's anti-anxiety medicine. So especially with everything going on today, we are using, because so like when you have sugar, when you have dairy, when you have gluten, when you have a lot of the processed stuff and the things known to cause inflammatory and reactions to a lot of people, they also give you a little burst of the happy hormone. I'm not sure if it's exactly serotonin or dopamine or whatever leads into those happy hormones, but whatever, I'm not a scientist. The point is that that's why we're drawn to them, because now we're so stressed for all the other mess going on top of already for the past couple decades, we're like busy, 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 right? But that makes us unhappy, so now we're eating poorly, and so now we've got all this other stuff, which is legit stuff to be unhappy about, but it's not just to be about being unhappy, we need to make changes. And then we don't know what to do, and so then we get angry, and then we say, screw it, let's go to Chick-fil-A. Screw it, let's go to Panera. Screw it, let's skip our workout because I just need a rest. But the thing is as this is becoming to be more and more a regular thing, it's not enough. It's not enough of a reason to skip what nature gave you as an antidepressant. And it is not enough to skip what nature gave you as an anti-anxiety medication. There are so many negative side effects to being on some of the drugs, and some of us need it, and that's fine, whatever, you know, there's no judgment. I mean, that's why they're there. But the point is we're over relying on other people to change our internal state, when, if you remember, 90 seconds is the longest biological initial reaction of anger. Any longer than that is a subconscious or conscious decision to remain angry. And the reason you're angry is because something isn't being addressed. Whether something needs to change or something needs to be revealed, whatever, you're ignoring something. So bursting your adrenaline, or, well, not adrenaline, well, yeah, sure. Sometimes you can burst adrenaline and work out, but your serotonin and dopamine, it gives you the courage and the peace and the that you need to address whatever it is that you need to tackle, to change, or address. Okay? So I'm gonna provide a little example, because this is getting a little long-winded. It's kind of like a heart-to-heart, come to Jesus meeting. And I'm not, I'm not saying that it's bad to feel angry, because again, it's a good hormone. It lets us know something needs to change. And it's not bad to let people know. It's not great if you do it in a belittling kind of way, condescending kind of way, assuming you're better than other people kind of way, you know, all that jazz, but that's not my specialty. I can't go over that. But I do know that being vulnerable and being completely open with people in a way that just lets them see who you are, not in a way to manipulate them, that's actually very healthy. And that is the core of who makes us what we are, Homo sapiens. We are driven to connect with each other by nature. There's this one very rare longitudinal study. It's been going on 75 years or more right now, like from the after high school into like people dying and stuff like that. Like, very rare study, because most people, they don't stick those studies out. And I'll try to find that for you. Just let me know. I'm busy, haha. But just let me know and I'll find you the study if you want to look it over. But the point is of all those differing people and, you know, backgrounds and where they ended up professionally, or, you know, starting at the high, ending at low, starting low, ending high, somewhere in the middle, whatever, health issues, no health issues, blah. The bottom line is that the point to happiness and stuff is connection, true connection with people. So being vulnerable is very, very important. And I just want to let you know that being vulnerable does not mean you're weak. It means you are brave. So don't be afraid to be vulnerable. That said, going back to that example that I cut myself off, for those who work with me or friends who come see me at the gym, other than my husband, because of course he knows everything that goes through my mind, and maybe one or two other really, really close friends, Connie included, you know, Jake, whatever. How often do you really see me in a bad mood? So if you're one of my clients and you're watching this, how often do you come in and I am just rip-roaring, pissed off, screw the world, I don't care, do your own freaking workout, I'm going home? Hopefully the answer is like never. But I also hope you're not surprised that there are, and I mean, so I've been doing this for what, 5, maybe a little bit more than 5 years now. In those 5 years, I'm a human being, right? I've suffered through some stuff too, just like everybody else. So I can guarantee you, especially with all this mess going on, I have felt exactly like that. Now, I love you, and I am so devoted to your goal and your progress, so much more than I am my temporary anger about a situation or lack of sleep or whatever, that I will not let you see that. You will never know if I feel that way. Now, you might know that I might be slightly off, and that might be a cue, right? I am human. I don't want to hide completely, because I do believe in the power of being vulnerable. But the point is I still experience the same anger. I still experience the same suffering. I still experience all the same frustrations and tiredness and just, oh God, stop. I experience that too. But the point is I don't use it as an excuse not to do my work, not to eat well, not to meal prep. I use it as a reason to. That's what God gave me. If you don't believe in God, that's what Mother Nature, that's what Gaia, whatever, that's what you have on Earth organically that is scientifically proven over and over and over to provide you the release and the rest that you need to tackle the tasks and stuff of today. And so there's nothing wrong with being angry. I'm not going to ever tell you or expect you to not show up at the gym and, just push your anger off into the corner like it never existed. You hear that in the movies and stuff. Leave your business, home life, at home, and your business life a bit. And that's, we can't do that. We're human beings. We can't cut off half of our brain. But maybe we can. I don't know. I heard about stuff like that too. But the point is we can't do that, and so that's unrealistic, and I should not expect that of you, and nor should you expect that of anybody else. Now that said, because lingering anger is a choice, again, I keep going back to it, subconsciously you could be making this choice, because even me saying that, you might be like, well, no I'm not, I got this. Okay, well then do something about it. Well, I can't because of this. Well, do something about it. Now that's a tough love thing, but you got to, otherwise nothing will change. That's the definition of insanity. Alrighty, so that aside, when you get to the gym, feel free to be angry, feel free to be vulnerable with me. I love you guys so much, and I'm not just saying that. I pour out myself to you guys as my clients, as my friends who ask me questions. I am here for you. I truly believe that God put me on this earth to be a servant to you guys. That said, you have to help yourself in the sense that you have to recognize that it is a choice to let that anger linger, and it is a choice to let it interrupt what nature gave you to heal yourself of that. So if exercise is going to give you the adrenaline and then boost the endorphins and the serotonin and the dopamine to give you the joy and the peace, and then finally a little bit of the mental quiet and rest that you need in order to overcome some of the challenges that you have, then you need to give it the opportunity to. Our brain is so amazing that we could be like, screw you, I know, I'm doing this push out, screw this push out, I don't push up, keep saying push out. You know what I mean? The point is you're angry, you don't care, you're doing it anyway, but you're not having fun, you're still angry, you're letting the movement fuel your anger. Like what are those things called that you like into a fireplace? I don't even know. But the point is you're not letting it calm it. Instead of letting that expel energy, you're using it to build it back up, right? So you have to choose, and I can't tell you exactly how. I mean, I've got a behavior change certification and I've studied a lot of stuff. We can talk, but I'm not a therapist. That might be a therapist, where they help you figure out exactly how you do that. But it's important that you recognize that, and it's important that you do try. You biologically cannot think two thoughts at one time. You're either thinking good thoughts or bad thoughts. Now, the good thoughts that you replace the bad thoughts with, like if you catch yourself saying something bad about yourself or the world or whatever, you stop and you say something good, it might not feel real, but you physically cannot think two thoughts at one time. You can't do it. It's just not possible. Our brain isn't wired that way. So if you get into practice of cutting that off, it's more, those thought processes are going to become more and more easy. They're going to sound more real, you're going to believe them more, and then hopefully it'll give you better fuel to overcome the anger and the frustration that you might feel and have a little bit more of a peaceful attitude and really have a little bit more hope and confidence for the day. So anyway, this is the long-winded come to Jesus meeting. I hope you guys do hear the sincerity of my voice and know how much I love and appreciate each and every single one of you, especially those who bless me with the ability to help you succeed in your fitness worlds. I wouldn't be here without you, and I very much thank you. But it's not just you being here, to help me have my favorite job. I really want to help you be successful, and it starts with knowing how to overcome some things that might not seem related to fitness, involving attitudes and how you overcome your anger so you can let nature do its job, give you the adrenaline and the boosts of dopamine and serotonin that you need to feel joy, and then the diet to give you what you need to simmer down that brain and calm the anxiety. All right, if you guys have any questions, you know where to find me. Have a wonderful day. I love you, and have a great weekend, and I will see you next time.